What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Balls in Your Face podcast. I'm Christian Rivera.
It's your boy Josh Ramos.
I'm Azio Hernandez.
And today we are going to be talking about the NBA season. We are midway through, just about headed to the All-Star game. We want to talk about everything going on with the season, where we're at, pretty much the standings of where everyone's at, and who we got so far. So real quick, say the standings real quick. Let me see.
You can go up to 10 because that's the play-in tournament. The other
I'll
teams,
go up to like 8.
the teams at the bottom. The Magic. What are we doing? Like,
Being in Orlando.
is Terrence Ross nice?
Bro.
We suck.
That's a topic for another time. I actually hit him up on Instagram, see if he could show up on the podcast. We're a local business
before he gets traded.
Yeah, of course. So first in the Eastern Conference, Miami Heat.
Hold up. Say that again.
The Miami Heat.
Say it one more time for the people that didn't hear it on
the Miami Heat. Hit the.
So you tell me the Miami Heat.
They're a joke. No.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is.
That was the punchline.
You're telling me we're the number 1 seed in the East
by half a game.
But no.
Right.
By half a game.
Let me know.
I didn't ask all that.
Let me know who's after that. Go ahead.
I said you're telling me we're the number 1 seed.
For now.
All right. Who we got after that?
Number 2 is the Bucks. Number 3 is the Bulls. That's not right. That's biased. The guy on the soundboard is biased.
So we don't do cheering for the Bucks that are number 2, but we do cheering.
We need a boo button.
We do cheering for the Bulls that are 3. Okay.
In fourth place is the Cavs. Fifth place is the 76ers. Sixth place is Raptors. In seventh is Boston Celtics. Wow.
Yeah, they are a joke.
Number 8 is the Brooklyn Nets. That's how far I'm going. I'm not going past 8. First in the Western Conference is the Phoenix Suns. Second, Warriors. Third, Memphis Grizzlies. Fourth, Utah Jazz. Fifth, Mavericks. Sixth, Nuggets. Seventh, Timberwolves. And the 8th is the Clippers. And who is in... Oh, what was that?
We're just testing out all the things.
Is that a new sound? I don't think we've had that sound.
We just never used it.
Was that the smooth jazz one?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't remember that being in that one.
You should have put that for the Jazz when we said
The Utah Jazz.
And number 9 is the Lakers. I just want to say that because they're a joke.
Jesus. All right, but with that being said, I just want to dive into the 8th. Jesus, I can't even talk today. Sorry, y'all.
Now you need that. You need that.
I'm a joke.
I thought you said dive into the steak. I was like, where's the steak?
We could dive into the Eastern Conference though. Really, obviously, Miami Heat's at the top, yes. But the East is so tightly packed, bro. From 1 to freaking 8, like literally in a span of 3 games, you can be first and then be last or 8th in a sense. If we can go into detail about that.
So, I top the standings right now. I don't want to brag, but I kind of called it coming into the season. Right now,
we're only halfway.
It's okay. We're halfway there. We'll still lead the next half.
I'm halfway there.
We're the number 1 seed in the East right now.
Wait.
And me as a Heat fan, yes, I expected my team to be obviously one of the better teams in the East. But what I didn't expect is for us to stay up there with all the injuries that we had. And obviously, we're still dealing with COVID.
He's like, number 1, Jimmy Butler. Number 2, Bam Adebayo. Number 3, Tyler Hero.
We're still dealing with COVID. And the names that you said in the beginning, they've actually had a lot of injuries. So Jimmy's missed a good amount of games. Bam, actually, he broke his thumb and actually had thumb surgery. He tore a ligament. And through it all, we've had a lot of undrafted players. Miami always had that track record of undrafted players making a staple and becoming long-lasting NBA players, and our team has been pretty much led by them. I'm going to say names, and I promise you some of you aren't even going to know who they are, but we got Gabe Vincent, who's been our starting point guard for a couple of games since Kyle Lowry's been out, Max Strus, and then Duncan Robinson, just players that you wouldn't expect to lead your team.
What about that one guy?
Which guy? Omar
Yurtseven. No, just that guy.
Who's that guy?
Wow, he couldn't even take his own segue. They have someone that they brought up named Kyle Guy.
Oh, yeah. See, we literally have guys.
You know that guy.
He missed the punchline.
We have guys on our team named Guy. But if anyone looked at our team and said that we would be first place with the amount of injuries that we had in COVID in the beginning of the year and everything like that, even your number one Heat fan like me, I would tell you I'm a little bit surprised. But that being said, we are getting healthier. Kyle Lowry, the main addition in the offseason, he's coming back. Jimmy obviously came back from injury. Bam actually just came back from his thumb surgery too. So we're definitely getting the pieces together at the right time. But we still have Victor Oladipo coming back, who last year he was the main acquisition at the deadline, and he only played 4 games before he re-injured his quad that he had with Indiana.
He got some weak quads, man.
I mean, he had surgery now, so he does look better. He's been training and everything ramping up, so they're saying that he should be back at most by March, right in time for the playoffs. But I definitely like where this team is going. I don't think they need to do anything crazy at the trade deadline. I don't think they need any big additions like that. I think our big addition will be Oladipo when he comes back from injury. But
that's free.
I definitely, right now, the way the East is, and obviously we're going to go into the other teams, but Brooklyn's all the way down at 8th.
That's what happens when you buy your way to a championship.
I don't see a lot of competitors that can possibly...
Boston.
Yeah. Obviously, trying to put bias aside, we're going to talk about the team that was mainly at the top for the longest, the Chicago Bulls. They were owning the number 1 seed.
And they definitely didn't take injuries the right way.
Yeah. So, obviously, they are definitely injury-riddled. I would say worse than the Heat were this current standing. Because, obviously, we were the first team to actually get hit with COVID, like, back-to-back. There was a night that we had literally, like, 8, which is literally almost half our roster, more than half of our roster out.
They don't wear their masks.
The game.
Yeah, y'all shut down the league. Y'all had to cancel games.
Then everybody else got it after us. So I guess we beat everyone to the punch and got everyone back first.
Yeah, you infected the league.
But obviously right now, as we're standing, Patrick Williams, he's our stud from last year. That was a rookie. He's hurt. He fractured his wrist in like the 4th, 5th game of the season, and he's out for majority of the season, but he's going to come back towards the end. And then recently, Lonzo Ball, he tore his meniscus, requiring surgery. He's going to come back way later, but we're out without him for 6 to 8 weeks. Then we got Alex Caruso, who he got brought down by that one scumbag on the Bucks, man. That one scumbag on the Bucks.
So, wait, real quick, can you explain the situation? Because I don't think I fully understood what had happened.
So pretty much, this is like an unwritten rule in basketball, especially in the NBA. When someone goes up, you never want to do something dangerous to them while they're in the air because you don't know how they'll come down.
Of course. Yeah,
so
and he like bounced off the ground.
So pretty much, Alex Caruso was going up for, I think it was a dunk or something like that. And I forgot Jit's name. To be
Grayson
honest.
Allen.
Grayson
Okay, I'll
Allen.
say this. Was it a flagrant foul? Yes. Was it a flagrant 2? In my opinion,
yes.
He did. Okay, he went for the ball, but what happened was Caruso was coming down the lane. He went for the ball. He got some of his wrist, and the momentum of Caruso. They were going opposite directions. He was trying to contest him, and he kind of dragged him down.
If you can watch that play, man, he pulled him down, and you can't pull someone down when they're in the air. This is not obviously in the rules in the NBA. I'm talking about man to man. Being a hooper, when you go up, you're not bringing me down.
Man
like, yeah,
to
you can
man,
try to
you're not
contest
gonna
it.
score on me.
But you're not. But you're not bringing them down to the ground. He could have landed on his neck, and then what?
He would have been
just
dead.
because he hurt his wrist. You're saying that it wasn't as bad. But if he fell on his head, then it's a different issue.
It's because So it was the way he landed. He landed on his wrist, and obviously that's why he fractured it. If he didn't fracture his wrist, I don't think we would be looking at it as how bad it was.
My
it
thing
was just
is,
the fact that he ended up getting hurt.
He fractured his wrist because he's putting his hands down, trying to protect him from the floor. So if
Maybe
he doesn't use his wrist, then it's his head.
So be it.
All right, no. So
Let it be.
anyways, like I said, man,
Caruso, if you want to come on and talk to us about that, definitely come on.
Listen,
you're injured,
they're
so
just Bulls haters.
you're not doing
That's all it
anything.
is. So Lonzo's out, Caruso's out. Those are 2 big pieces on the defensive side of the ball, which kind of made it slide down a little bit. I'm not tripping though, because with that being said, how far are we out from first?
Right now, you're a game and a half back.
A game and a half.
Us.
A game and a half. So I'm not tripping about it. We're in striking distance. I just feel like the main thing with the East is crazy right now is that prime example. You have someone like the Nets at the 8th seed, which obviously with everything going on right now, yeah, it looks a little out of sorts and stuff, but I wouldn't want to see the Nets in the first round at least because that's the potential to be bounced out. I don't care what you say. I get it. I'm confident in beating the Nets too. And you're going to say, we could beat the Nets easily, whatever. But you wouldn't want to see a team like that.
Yeah, no way in hell no one wants to see it. Right now, the Nets are 8th and the Heat are 1st. And that would be our first round matchup. And yeah, I don't think anybody in their right mind wants to see Kevin Durant in the first round.
Not at all. And that's my thing because they're playing without Kevin Durant. They're on a 9-game skid. But with KD in the playoffs, bro, that man can get you 45 and kill you. So it's like you don't want to face that. But with the East so tightly packed, anyone could slide anywhere, and seeding doesn't really matter, I would say. Because obviously every year you want to get first, so you get home court advantage. If Kyrie's on the team, that means your home court advantage, they're playing
It's a
away.
disadvantage.
Yeah, they're playing away, and Kyrie's coming to your crib for the first 2 games. It's like, bro, it's like pick your poison right now. That's what the East is shaping out to be.
So we talked about the Bulls. We kind of skipped over the Bucks. You know, they're defending champions, so they are 2 in the East. So they've been solid, and they've dealt with their own injuries too. But they're still right there at 2. The team that probably has been the most surprising team in the league. We got the Cleveland Cavaliers at 4th.
Who wants to go to Cleveland?
Who would have thought going into the season that the Cavaliers would be a better team than LeBron James Lakers? LeBron left a couple years ago, and apparently he left them in shambles and everything. Apparently not, because now they have an all-star that they drafted right after LeBron left. And Cleveland is in 4th place in the East. Who would have thought?
I just think, like I said, man, I definitely think the East being so tightly constructed, that kind of helps. Don't get it wrong. They are playing good. Don't get me wrong. But my thing is, like I said, in 2 games, they could be all the way down at 8th. And we wouldn't be surprised. But their team is very constructed well. Obviously, their draft pick from this past year, Evan Mobley, he's probably going to be the rookie of the year.
He's definitely top 3 for rookie of the year. And his skill set, I mean, he's a good shot blocking big. He's 7 feet. They have a big front court. He's playing power forward right now. He's 7 foot, and he has good touch. He's able to shoot. So he's done a lot of stuff. But Darius Garland, he elevated his play to all-star level. And I can honestly say, I don't think anyone saw them even having an all-star. And the fact that Darius Garland stepped up once Colin Sexton got injured and took his level of game to that level, it's definitely surprising. So they definitely, and Jarrett Allen, he was part of the trade a couple years ago that brought in Allen to the Cavs, and he's been a good presence in the paint. So Cleveland, it doesn't even sound real. Like, I'm saying Cleveland without saying LeBron, and it's like there's no way those two even exist.
Because it just never happened. It's never happened like that. Even when Kyrie was on the team, they weren't making it to the playoffs. So it's like, seeing this is kind of weird. But obviously we still have a half a season to go, so we're trying to see. Your Boston, man, what's good with Boston going on right now?
Oh man, you know, they got an all-star. They don't have another all-star, which we wish we could have had. But I mean, I don't know. It's tough to say what's going on with them. I mean, Jason Tatum's putting up good points. You know, man, it's tough to see them in 7th.
So for me,
they should be up there though.
Oh, they're seeded in 7th. So
They're
how many games
7th.
back? How many games back?
So right now Boston is 4.5 games. It's not the biggest difference, but for me, I think the disappointing thing about Boston is that they, in the offseason, the way they shaped it out was that they had a new coach. Brad Stevens stepped down, and now he's in the front office, and that was the whole thing. But they said that he lost the locker room, and they wanted.
I mean, Brad Stevens wasn't doing much.
They wanted a new voice in the locker room, and they did. And they made us, I guess, believe that was, quote unquote, the problem. Even though Coach Stevens is a good X and O guy, that he lost the locker room, so they need a new voice, and they do get a new coach. And I would say Boston has been a little bit more disappointing than what everyone would have thought. Definitely, you have Tatum and Brown, 2 premier wings in the league, and that's what everyone's trying to get. So you would think, and it's not like, to me, people are talking about should they split up. I think their games work well together. I don't think that's a problem. I just think the pieces around them, hasn't been the best, but to me, Boston's probably been one of the most disappointing teams.
I just feel like there should be a shakeup for sure, because when you think about it, like, a lot of the pieces that are on that team have been on the team for a while. If you think about that team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals, I would say a solid 4 or 5 of them are still on that team. Marcus Smart, which he's looking like he's got to get dealt, but at the time of this recording, he's not. Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. You even have you brought back the center,
Al Horford.
Al Horford
came back.
Like, a lot of pieces that's been sticking around for a while, and you haven't been winning. So it's like, bro, just shake something up, man. Move something. I'm not saying break up Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, because I feel like everybody wants something like that. Which you look at like Paul George, and they're kind of like the baby version of Paul George and Kawhi Leonard in a sense. Maybe more scoring instead of defense. But I just feel like they need to shake something up, change something. Obviously, Luke Walton going out was the first step, but they need to shake up that roster, man. Something needs to change.
He said Luke Walton.
Oh,
Yeah. I was like, what?
They're both like the same.
They're both white.
No. Brad Stevens is just
Bro, I was
Brad
like-
Stevens and Luke Walton. I just feel like they're the same, because Luke Walton, he was known because he was leading the Warriors for a little bit.
Well, he was with this.
He was known, so it's like the history behind it. But Brad Stevens ain't win nothing either.
Yeah,
so.
no, it's just disappointing to see Boston repeatedly, losing. They should be at the top with what they have, but, It's been what, like 4 or 5 years
When Boston
since they got Jason Tatum.
When they made the Eastern Conference Finals, that was Tatum's rookie year. I
Yeah.
believe that was 2017. And when they made the Eastern Conference Finals, you thought that the next step was obviously going to be moving up to the finals, and they've regressed since then. So they never, I guess, hit the peak where we thought they were going to be at.
Yeah, they had Kyrie Irving, and
Exactly.
people kind of forget about them having Kyrie Irving. So
Boston, I don't
It's
know.
disappointing.
I don't know what they're going to do with their roster. I think Marcus Smart is probably the best trade chip that they have. And like you said, by the time of this recording, we don't know if he got traded yet, but that's probably the number one thing that you could do to probably upgrade your roster.
yeah, you love to see it though. But as we transition to the Western Conference, let's go over the top 8 in the Western Conference.
Phoenix Suns, number 1.
Yeah, so we got Phoenix, number
Best
one.
backcourt in basketball.
Is it? No. I mean, Clay did just come back, so you know. But we got
Yeah, but he does
I'm not
come
putting-
back.
I'm not putting too much stock in that. But
so
yeah,
we
go
got
ahead.
Phoenix number 1. We got Golden State number 2. We got another surprise. We got Memphis at number 3 and John Morant. So we'll get into that in a little bit. We got Utah at
John
4.
Morant, my Grizzlies.
We got Utah at 4, who's been on a little bit of skid lately, but they're still up there at 4. Just for comparison, so from 4 to 1 in the West is 11 games.
Wow, that's
Wow.
crazy.
So that's So the East is definitely all jumbled up.
Well,
So-
the Suns are 44-10, right?
yes, they're 44-10, so they got the best record in the league. Top 3 records in the West are the top 3 in the
Who's
league.
last?
Last in the West?
Yeah.
We got Houston. So James Harden left at the right time last year. But
He's still trash. No.
we got 5. We got Dallas. 6, Denver. 7, Minnesota. So Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards. You know, maybe they're trending in the right direction.
All the way to 7th.
I mean, it's still improvement. I mean,
Don't forget D'Lo, man. It's supposed to be.
he's kind of
big three,
he's been
but-
like the forgotten man. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot he was in the league. No,
Wow.
not forgot he was in the
Damn.
league. No, not that bad, but he's definitely went under the radar a little bit. We got 8, the Clippers, and who would have thought? There's one team that I haven't said that everyone would have said, arguably would have picked to be the number 1 team, and that is the Los Angeles Lakers. What is up with your boy LeBron? You know, usually we start off at the top, but the Lakers have been so disappointing that we got to start at the bottom.
Listen, dog. All I
Like-
just want to say is that don't make it about what is LeBron doing, because you see what LeBron's doing. It's mainly the
Losing.
team. The team is not.
Yeah.
I see what he's doing.
Well, team has not been up to par, obviously, and I know he's gonna come and attack the Lakers because they thought they were gonna win a chip with the roster that they had, and it hasn't been productive. But at the end of the day, bro,
They're all old.
anyone should have known that just Russell Westbrook was not gonna fit on that team. It's just when you think about it, LeBron has been able to carry a lot of franchises that the team was not constructed very well. When you look at it, the first turnaround in Cleveland, and even the last couple years in Cleveland, the second time around, the team was not great, but he was able to carry that. Clearly, that's not the case anymore, especially with him being a little higher in age. But also, he missed a couple games in the beginning of the season, and then losing your second best player, Anthony Davis. The team was just not built to run with just LeBron and Russell. It's kind of like Russell just gets in the way and he turns the ball over.
Damn.
So,
Because when you look at it, though, I just want to say, when you ask LeBron, LeBron's posting one of the highest scoring percentages as he has in a while. When you look at overall how he's been playing on a game-to-game basis, he's dropping 26, 27, 28, 30. Yes.
empty
they
stats.
haven't- That's not empty. That is not empty stats.
He's
bro.
trying to
bugging.
catch up to
He's
Kareem.
bugging. That's
That's
not empty.
all he's trying
That's
to do.
clearly not empty.
That's all he's trying to
At the
do.
end of the day, you're trying to win. You're trying to put
Is
up
he, though?
points to win.
Is he though?
So
this
what
one-
is he doing? Just scoring? Not 43 field goal attempts. He's not putting up 43 field goal
Oh
attempts.
God! If
but
you haven't
okay.
seen that video, that's one of the first videos that we posted, season 2, episode 2.
So, coming into the season, everyone knew, because obviously the Lakers are putting their roster together. The big trade, they traded for Westbrook. I didn't like the fit. They had an opportunity to get Buddy Hield. It would have been Kyle Kuzma going to Sacramento, and that would have been a whole different dynamic. But they could have had a chance to have Buddy Hield. And obviously he's not the player that Westbrook is, but just history tells us, what does LeBron need around him? Shooters. And that Buddy Hield, say what you want, he's obviously not the player Westbrook is, not MVP caliber, but obviously he does the number one thing that Westbrook is literally the worst at. Like, he can shoot.
Yeah.
Like, he can shoot the lights out the ball, and that's literally Westbrook's literally his worst quality. That and his turnovers, which, I mean, I'm not trying to back on Westbrook, but there's a lot of stuff that's wrong with that whole fit. But another big story coming into the year was the fact that they had the oldest roster coming in. And I'm not going to forget this. LeBron came out with a tweet. He was like, I hope y'all keep that same energy when the season starts. And basically, I don't remember what it said word for word, but basically it was saying when the season starts and they're up there and they're winning, he wants us to keep that same energy. I want him to keep that same energy because now we have reports that the team that they need a shakeup and that they want to do something. Some of the players think that a change is needed. A change was needed in the offseason. Before you signed Trevor Ariza, he looks done. Like, why is he in the league?
Bro,
Carmelo,
who just had Trevor Ariza on their team?
You know, why did we get rid of him?
All right, then, but I don't want to hear it.
We let him walk. Okay, Carmelo Anthony, I saw him shoot a jump shot, a pull-up dribble, and he pulled his hamstring. it's like, and then LeBron has been in and out with he'll little
Listen, bro, let me just label the whole problem right now. Russell Westbrook is making almost $30 million a year. Malik Monk is making a veteran minimum, and Malik Monk is outballing Westbrook. In itself,
Westbrook is up in the 40 millions. He's up there.
Your roster is done, dog. Your roster is done. Something needs to change. Nothing can change. Obviously, nothing looks like it's trending upwards. But I will say, bro, I don't want to see them in the playoffs.
LeBron is showing his age because he is going out for extended periods,
averaging almost 29
with
points,
little injuries. Little knick-knack injuries that we went up. Injuries. Every time I watch a Lakers game, Anthony Davis is on the floor and he's crawling. Like he's always hurt with something. And every time he goes down, I'm like, all right, like this is like an everyday thing. So it's like, I don't know what the fix is.
Yeah, I can just picture him on the ground.
I don't know what the fix for the Lakers is going to be. It might be
LeBron.
It might be Westbrook coming off the bench. But
yeah, as we know, the Suns and the Warriors are definitely dominating. But obviously the sleeper, which not really a sleeper because, no, I'm going to say a sleeper. Memphis was not expected to do this good. Third in the West right now. Ja Morant is playing at an MVP caliber year. And then also it's just he has so much good role players around him. Like the talent that they drafted, Jaren Jackson, he was out, I think, last year, right? For majority of the year. And he's a stud. Then you got Desmond Bane, who was recently drafted that Bro, we played Memphis on national television, and bro, we got our socks knocked off, bro, because Desmond Bane was shooting the lights out.
What?
I've never heard that.
But in who was it? It's D'Lo the what?
I've never.
That's
heard
Russell
that.
Westbrook.
No.
Yeah. It's
the
Westbrook.
what?
No, not that one. It's the one with the question marks. It's like
Oh, it's Nick Young.
Nick Young. I don't know why I thought D'Lo.
So, but yeah, man, just Memphis is balling right now. Shout out to Memphis.
They knocked their socks off.
Yeah. Memphis to me is the Western equivalent of Cleveland. That's like the two teams that you did.
Are they both in third?
I get what you're saying, but they're I feel like their heads and shoulders better.
Oh yeah, well no, don't get me wrong. I think they're and I think the biggest difference is Ja Morant, that he's an MVP caliber player. I'm talking about just, and it's a loose comparison, but just surprises in each conference. I think those two are the two teams that you wouldn't have expected to be that high coming into the season.
I still don't think this changes, but when you look at it, bro, when Ja Morant was drafted, and obviously Zion and Ja are always going to be tied together, Ja is like way ahead right now, bro.
That's going to be definitely a question down the future if New Orleans made the right choice drafting Zion. And obviously he's been injured the majority of the year. So I will say this, though. The sample size that we've seen him on the court, I mean, there's no denying that Zion's special, but it's like availability is the best ability. And if he's not going to be on the court and Ja Morant's going to play like that, like how can you argue that New Orleans made the right choice? Yeah. And obviously, I mean, if New Orleans had a guard like that right now, who knows where they'd be at.
All right, so real quick, one by one, who's coming out of the West and the East? The West and the East.
So my unbiased opinion, the Eastern Conference champion this year will be the Miami Heat.
Unbiased, though.
You know, everyone said that we were a bubble team, but we're going to prove the haters wrong. We're going to go back to the finals this year, and we will be going against the Phoenix Suns, the two number one teams. I was trying to stay away from having the two number one teams, but I think the way Phoenix is, and obviously they lost last year, so I think they're definitely going to be hungry to come back. Chris Paul, unbelievable. Everyone, I mean, LeBron rightfully so. I'll give him that credit. He's playing well into his career, but Chris Paul,
I don't think you said that earlier.
I mean, he's hurt. But Chris Paul is also getting up there in age. He's been in the league for a while. He's definitely still playing. And I don't know about this year. Last year he was in the MVP conversation. Obviously this year he's an all-star, so he's definitely aging well into his career. So I think those are my two picks.
Who you got, Christian?
Definitely in the Western, Phoenix Suns, best backcourt in basketball. And for the East,
he's like, I have the Boston Celtics.
I was gonna say the Boston Celtics. They're gonna turn around their season. No, man, I'll go with the Bucks.
Bucks.
I'll go with the Bucks just because they're.
So rematch of the finals. Last year.
Yeah, I'll go with the Bucks.
That's a safe pick because Giannis is balling, and like I said, the Bucks have started off slow because Giannis was hurt for a little bit. So.
And the Heat, they're gonna get stopped.
Yeah. Obviously trying to put bias aside, but I definitely see it. Chicago.
We both think we're
Damn
putting
it, I
bias.
should have said the Celtics.
But when I say that, it's because I just genuinely think when we're fully healthy, assuming that we are fully healthy, we're gonna have Lonzo back in the starting lineup, Patrick Williams in the starting lineup. Bro, it's scary season, dog. It is scary season because then we're gonna have Ayo DeSumo coming off the bench, Kobe White, and that's not excluding a move that could be made by us. I don't see the trade deadline, but the buyout market definitely see it. But in the West, I'm gonna go with the sleeper, dog. I'm gonna take the Grizzlies coming out of the West.
No
Main
way.
reason, obviously, when I stack up the two, right? The Suns are good. Don't get me wrong, the Suns are good. But Memphis is defensive tenacity. Like the Suns have a good defense. Don't get me wrong, too. I just feel like the defensive tenacity mixed with such a bag they have on the other side is in John Morant. Like as in he could shoot the ball, take it to the cup, dish it out to his center that can shoot the three, or he could dish it out to anyone that can shoot the three because their team shoots it well. So I got the Grizzlies. I might have. And then the Warriors, because not to overlook the Warriors, I just feel like Curry's just gonna go in a slump again, dog. That's
No
just what I
way.
feel.
You're
Like,
tripping.
he was in a slog majority of the year.
Yeah, his slump days are over. He's gonna come back.
Klay Thompson's back.
Klay Thompson is coming back.
No, but there's a reason why y'all didn't pick him to go out the West.
No, Western Conference Final. It's gonna be
Because the Suns are better.
it's gonna be Phoenix Golden State to me, and that has 7 games written all over it. I just think Phoenix, the fact that they did it last year, and obviously Golden State has done it before, obviously in 2015 and like all those years they were in the finals and everything. But I just think something about Phoenix, just watching them play, like they look hungry and like they know. I feel like a lot of them know that last year they let out a good opportunity slip, and I feel like they don't want it to happen again.
Keep sleeping on Memphis, man. At the end of the day, we didn't expect them to be where they're at now. And if you were to compare Memphis to the Eastern Conference,
You really said the Memphis Grizzlies and the Bulls.
The ratings are going to be terrible.
Oh, really?
No one is going to watch the NBA Finals.
Chicago, the first time back in the finals, you think no one's gonna watch it?
Yeah, they
You're
see
crazy.
You gotta
Memphis and they're like,
remember,
nah, I'm good.
NBA has some part in it because sports are rigged. That's another episode for another time.
Not
We'll talk about
conspiracy
that another
theories.
time.
No, but
But yeah, man, the Ballsy and Face podcast on Instagram, BIYF podcast on Twitter, Ballsy and Face the podcast on TikTok, the Ballsy and Face podcast on YouTube. And yeah, man, make sure you follow all of us and make sure you subscribe as well. Make sure you put a thumbs up, thumbs down, and comment. Let us know what y'all want to see, man.
also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, where you can
forget.
find your podcast.
Can't forget that part. You got anything else?
Y'all better watch out. Let us know if you have any comments.
Watch out for the Boston Celtics.
Nah, ain't nobody watching now.
on the comeback.
All right, man. It's your boy Josh Ramos.
Ezio Hernandez.
Chris Rivera, have a good one. Bye.